This is the Meta 360, a specialized laser designed for engraving personalized drinkware 5 times faster than a standard rotary setup. This is actually part 2 of our series looking at how we developed the Meta 360. If you haven't seen part 1, there is a link down in the description. So I thought it was time for me to do a rundown of the problems we faced and how we overcame them to make the perfect machine for you if what you engrave looks anything like this. When we were developing this machine, we knew that it had to tick every single productivity box. There is no point having a super fast laser engraver that is a pain in the neck to use. We knew it had to be perfect. And that meant overcoming 4 key problems. 1, how does the machine know which bottle it's marking? 2, how do you make sure you can engrave any artwork, any name, any design that you want onto the surface of the bottle? 3, how do we make it that it can engrave any bottle without having to faff around changing jigs and fixtures? And 4, how do we, once it's in, make it the fastest engraver in the industry? And it was actually by looking back through years of tried and true Lotus tech that we discovered the solution for all 4. The first place we found inspiration was our personalised. It's our in-store laser for marking perfume bottles, tech products, whatever you like really, but at the counter. And right here is a barcode scanner. So all your operator has to do is take a product and scan the barcode, and the machine does everything else. It can give instructions on how to load the bottle, it will load in the right power settings into Lotus Mark, and it will load the correct 3D file for wrapping the artwork. This was how we solved the first problem: how does the machine know which bottle it's marking? Which brings us to our second challenge. If you're doing personalization, chances are you're marking hundreds of different bottle products that are all different shapes and sizes, but the artwork still needs to be perfectly wrapped and perfectly placed. Of course, we already developed custom software for the Meta XY that can automatically resize and rewrap artwork to any part that you put in the machine. Lotus Multimark. All the machine needs to know is which bottle it's engraving, which we told it earlier when we scanned the barcode. And as long as it knows that, it will resize and rewrap the artwork and give you a perfect engraving every single time. Next challenge, how do we avoid faffing around changing jigs and fixtures? We wanted you to be able to mark 10 of these, then 10 of these, and 10 of these with 0 downtime. Now the first thing we did, and it sounds simple, but we use a vertical turning center. Without having to clamp this in a classic horizontal rotary setup, you do not have to change any jigs or fixtures or anything else in order to make it fit the different size of the bottle. And here's the big one. Using a vertical turning center means you do not have to remove the lid. The lid of the bottle can be any size. It can have a clip on it, it can have a straw poking out the top. These are all things that would mess up a standard horizontal rotary and make 0 difference to the Meta 360. And a COBOT can't remove a lid. You would have to have a human operator removing and replacing the lid on every single bottle that you mark, which would be, if you'll pardon the pun, a huge bottleneck in your production. So that decision by our R&D team to have it be a vertical turning center is what means this machine could run 24/7 lights out with a COBOT arm. And also we happen to be really good at integrating COBOT arms directly into our lasers for a basically 0 failure rate. There's a video here if you want to know more about that. So if we're not constantly changing the fixtures, then how are we holding it in place? This is where our plate stacker came to the rescue. We've been working with pneumatic clamps for holding cereal plates in place, and those machines are so successful that they sell all over the world. So we thought, why not with bottles? The great thing about doing it this way is it doesn't matter what size or shape the bottle is. It could be bigger at the top than the bottom, it could have a handle, it will still clamp perfectly. We actually discovered during our testing that the bottle doesn't need to be in the dead center. We'd say get it as close to the center as you can, of course, but instead of painstakingly trying to make sure that it's exactly right in the middle of the jig, as long as it's roughly in the right place, the clamps will just pull it to center anyway. But I hear you say, if I can just load the bottle in willy-nilly however I want, then how do I make sure the machine is engraving the correct part of the bottle? With one of these. It's a positioning camera. What it will do is look for and identify your existing branding that is on your product. For example, a logo that's down at the bottom. Once it finds that, it sets that as the 0 position, and from there you could program this to basically do whatever you want. That means that it will be consistent across your entire range of products, but also each one can be programmed to move or mark in a different place according to what you want. And the even better thing is that all of that information will have been passed to the machine by the barcode that we did right at the beginning. It really is that simple and that intuitive. So it's fast to prep, fast to wrap, and fast to load. How did we make sure then that it is truly the fastest laser engraver? by not doing standard rotary engraving, where the laser marks a bit, then it turns a bit, then it marks a bit, then it turns a bit. We are doing true 3D engraving, where the artwork is wrapped to the shape, and instead of using a rotary to adjust the focus height is adjusted inside the scan head at 3,000 millimeters a second. Even if you're doing a full 360 wrap, it will engrave a section, then turn, then engrave a section, then turn, which is way quicker than doing it on a standard rotary. But 9 times out of 10, most people will do something like a logo on one side and a name on the other. And for that, it will do a full 3D mark without even needing to turn, automatically turn 180 degrees, and then do a 3D mark on the other side. And that is crazy quick compared to a standard rotary. So there it is. The Meta 360, the perfect bottle engraving machine. Any bottle, any size, any shape, 24/7 lights out production, all done from scanning a simple barcode. Hats have to go off to the R&D team here because they knocked this one out the park. And we are certain that this kind of machine is going to change the personalization industry. If it looks like the kind of machine that you're after for your business, then by all means reach out to us at lotuslaser.com. Our sales team will be very happy to walk you through the perfect laser solution for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.